Hi, Assalamualaikum and a very good afternoon to all of you. Okay, today, welcome to the class for the customer service class. Okay, so today our chapter is chapter 3 and the topics for this week is problem solving. Alright, okay, this is the topic, problem solving. So before we start, okay, I want to introduce you something. Okay, everybody can benefit from having a good problem solving skill as we encounter problem on a daily basis. So everyone we encounter problem daily basis. You and me, we have problem and we need to encounter back this problem. So some of these problem are obviously are more complex than others. So it would be wonderful to have the ability to solve all the problems efficiently and in a timely fashion without difficulty. But unfortunately, there is no one way in which this problem can be solved. Means as a customer service, if you have involved in the customer service, problem solving is one of the skill that you need. So before we start, what's actually a problem? Alright, according to the Concise Oxford Dictionary 1995, problem refer to a doubtful or difficult matters that requiring a solution and something hard to understand, to accomplish and to deal with. So I have problem, you also have a problem. Problem is something the difficult matter that you think is very difficult for you and you need to have a solution in that problem. While problem solving is actually a universal skill that applies to any position in every industry. So I can say that problem solving skill is very essential to every position in every industry, include the hotel management. So means everyone is tasked and there are some form of problem solving in their workplace, but you know that not all employees are good in solving a problem. Okay, you can see here, problem solving is actually an active solution to a challenging problem. On the other hand, okay, problem solving refer to the process of finding solution. Okay, process of finding solution to the difficult or complex issue. To the difficult or complex issue. So this is a problem solving. You have issue, you must find a solution. So problem solving normally consists of using the ad hoc method, okay, in an orderly manner to find the solution to a problem. So some of the problem you need to have a ad hoc method. So means secara cepat you kena find the solution as soon as possible, okay, to any problem that occurred. Okay, that's a problem solving, meanings of the problem solving. Alright, some of the problem solving, you need to apply the creative thinking you need to apply the creative thinking process to solve some of the problem. So this creative problem solving, they suggest that through an open approach to find solution and appropriate and innovative result that might be discovered. So customers appreciate creativity, and by offering suggestion to customer and to management about innovation ways of solving challenges, customer service providers can share the creativity with others. Means that they have the ability, they have a creativity, the creativity ability with produce and useful idea. Alright, we go to the next one. Ability to produce novel and also useful idea. How creativity can help people to solve the problem. Okay, when we talk about creative, every individuals, they have a different definition of creative. So normally the creativity will help people in this problem solving. Okay, first they're going to help you to have a better understanding about the problem. Okay, second, you're going to see the problem others cannot see. Next, you need to identify all the practical alternative. Okay, you can also identify the alternative that aren't ready appearance, and also you're going to have a better decision. There are those people who don't have this idea. Okay, people and organization that tend to make a better decision when creative people are involved in the process. So if you have a creative people that involved in the process, so it's easy for them to make a better decision. So it is important to identify people who have this creative potential Some of the methods and theories identified in earlier, some of the methods and theories normally identify to identify if you are creative or not. Alright, so next we go to the component model of creativity. Okay, this is the slide for the one that I told you before, the ability to produce novel and useful idea. So the ability to produce fresh and useful ideas, so they're going to help people to better understand of the problems, see problems that others can do, identify all the practical alternative, and also identify the alternative that aren't readily apparent. So next we go to the component model of creativity. Okay, we have three: expertise, intrinsic task, and also motivation, creative thinking skills. So what is actually expertise? Okay, first, the component model of creativity. You are creativity if you are expert to the regarding field. So expertise means the foundation, and it's based on the knowledge and experience of the individuals. So expertise, if you you have knowledge about that certain field or certain area, and also experience, is going to give you more creative in the doing this problem solving. Next, we have the intrinsic task. Okay, next we have the intrinsic task motivation. So intrinsic task motivation is actually the desire to do a job. Okay, desire to do a job because the characteristic that relate with the job. So one of the component model creativity is intrinsic task. You have the desire to do the job because characteristic that associate with the job. This is what we call as intrinsic task motivation. Then we have the creative thinking skill. Okay, this one is here. Okay, we have the creative thinking skill. Okay, next we proceed to the creative thinking skills. It's actually the personality characteristic associated with the creativity, such as the ability to use analogies and the talent to see things differently. So creative thinking, if we talk about creative thinking, it means the how you see the problems, how do you want to solve the problem using the talent that you have to see things differently. So we have three components of model of creativity. We have expertise, intrinsic task, and also creative intrinsic task motivation, also creative thinking skills. Okay, let's move to the next slide, problems of opportunities. So criticism provides an opportunity to obtain information, and the customer complaint is really a request for action. So before that, you must know what is actually the criticism. Okay, criticism. What is actually criticism? Okay, when we talk about criticism, it's actually the expression of disapproval of someone or something on the basis of perceived faults and mistakes. So if you have faults and mistake, normally you do faults and mistake, people will criticize you. So the customer, when we talk about customer, they are normally will express their dissatisfaction through this criticism. Alright. So the criticism that they will give towards your organization normally will help you to obtain or get information. So any complaint or critiques that you receive actually again help you to we help you to obtain information. What kind of information that their satisfaction that towards your organization. So when we talk about criticism, the customer complaint, if you receive the complaint, okay, you as a good customer service, you must know and understand the customer really request for your action. If you receive the criticism from the customer, automatically they actually really want the action from you. Alright, understand? Okay, now we move to the conflict. Okay, conflict is actually a hostile encounter that occurs as a result of opposing needs, wishes, or ideas. Or in other words, conflict is actually a serious disagreement. A serious disagreement, or we call argument. Alright, or the other word, it can be dispute, quarrel, or difference of opinion. So that's actually a conflict lah, the agreement or argument, pergaduhan, conflict. Okay, when you own your business and deal with the customer, so conflict is bound to happen. Normally conflict is normal, it's going to bound to happen, especially when you deal with the customer. So if you react poorly to the customer complaint, it could be end to the permanent loss business. You're going to lose your business if you act poorly to the customer complaint. On the other hand, knows how to resolve the conflict can result increase the customer trust. So if you know how to encounter the conflict, how you want to handle the conflict, if you know the way to handle the conflict, actually it's increase your customer trust towards your company. So what are the suggestions when you are encounter the conflict or how to handle the conflict? Okay, this is the way. First, do not bring up old problems from the past or assign the blame. Okay, this is one. Okay. Second, you're going to listen the other viewpoints that are being presented. Use text as your response to others. Okay, do not repress your own anger. Instead, you use it productively. Take advantage of the opportunity to share other related concern in a positive manner, and also you can focus on finding the best solution of the conflict. You can also put another point. You can be humble. Okay, even the conflict is from the customer fault, so it's important for you don't take a bad attitude to the customer, because you always know customer always right. So what you need to do is just tell sorry to the customer and because of the misunderstanding, and assure that you are not going to do that. I mean, you are going to do your best to try to fix the problem, and don't take personally. Don't take it personally. Okay, if you take it personally, you might get the defensive. If you might get defensive, frustrated, and so on. So these are the way how you want to handle conflict, because you know that you are working, you deal directly with the customer. So you must just put your feeling aside and try to handle the conflict for professionally. Next we go problem solving model, or we can say problem solving process. This is a problem solving process. So numerous approach may be taken when attempt to solve a problem. So there's a lot of way to solve the problem. So after determining that the problem exists, it is helpful to respond to the following guidelines. So this is the problem solving method or process that you need to follow. This you can see if you find it Google, there's a lot of problem solving model or methods or process. Okay, this one I want you to focus on because this is the one that I teach you guys. So there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 process of problem solving model. We have identified the new problems, understand the problems unique characteristic and also possible outcome, define solution requirements considering the company policy in a place, identify possible solutions, select the best solution, implement the solution, and lastly observe and evaluate the solution impact. Okay, let's go one by one. First is identify the problem. So first you must attempt and recognize and understand what the real problem is. Okay, you must understand, recognize what the real problem is. You must know what the real problem is. Sometimes the true problem will be difficult to identify. Okay, sometimes you don't know what is actually the problem. It's very difficult to identify because of other variables. Means that if in order for you to identify the problem, you must understand first. Okay, you must identify, you must check what kind of problem occurred in the organization. Okay, for example, you argue with your customer, so actually you don't know what kind of problem that occurred during that time. Okay, after you identify the problem, next you understand the problem's unique. Means the problems normally they have a unique characteristic and a possible outcome. So the problem that must be solved by the customer service providers, actually they have the unique characteristic. So this unique characteristic might have no bearing in the eventual solution, but they must be considered while the solution being developed. So if you understand the question, normally you will have what kind of a possible solution that you can see. Okay, then third one is define the requirement of a possible solution considering the company's policy currently in place. So you must see what kind of policies that you have in your organization. So policies that are normally they are flexible and should be considered as opportunity. If they have the problem, okay, you can check the requirement, the policies and company policies, and what kind of policy that can use to to solve the problem. Then you need to identify problem solution. Okay, if you see problem like policy, maybe the policy is money back guarantees. Okay, guarantees, money back guarantees. Kalau you beli apa-apa, kalau policy company cakap, okay, you boleh bayar balik the company punya, boleh bayar balik duit, ataupun mungkin setengah company dia ada polisi, once you buy you tak boleh bagi balik duit, mungkin you boleh ganti dengan benda lain. So after you then next you identify the possible solution lah. Frequently the success of a problem solution has to do with the generation of more than one possible solution. Okay, normally if you have a problem occur in the organization, right, there will be like many solution. Mungkin ada 5 atau 6 solution that can take. For example, they want to, contohnya barang yang you beli tu rosak. So apakah solution according to your company policy? It can be maybe money back guarantee, mungkin dia akan pulang balik duit, ataupun you boleh ambil barang lain, ataupun you boleh mungkin there's a lot of solution. Okay, so you must identify the possible solution first. Then after that, you must select the best solution according to the solution that you have. Maybe you have 4-5 alternative solution, so you select the best one. Okay, mungkin you say, okay, the best one is actually, okay, the customer will get another goods, another products with the same price. Okay, then after you select the best solution, you must implement it, the solution, informing the customer of the details and how the customer will be affected. Okay, during this process, the communication is important at this time. So everyone will be affected by the solution and must be informed, and its implementation of any responsibility that may have contribute to the success. So the customer, they must be informed. So this is the communication process is important during this time. Right, we have observe and also evaluation the solution impact. After a solution that have been implemented, it should be observed. Okay, you as a customer service, you must observe and evaluate to determine whether this solution are successful or not. So we can call another word that we can say is a feedback. Okay, you can get the feedback from your customer whether the solution that you give is successful or not. Okay, these are the 7 problem solving process. In the customer service, we have identified the problem, understand the problem's unique characteristic and also the possible outcome, define the requirement of possible solution considering the company's policy currently in place, identify possible solution, select the best solution, implement the solution, informing the customer of the details and how the customer will be affected, and also observe the evaluation of the customer impact, mean the feedback lah. Okay, the feedback whether it's successful, it's not successful, mungkin you can just go to another one. You need to identify the problem. So it's actually that you can see here, right? Okay, you can see it's a continuous process. The problem solving model is actually the continuous process. Sebab tu dia jadi macam bulat sini. Okay. Okay, let's move to the problem solving strategy. Okay, problem solving strategy, normally we have 2 ways of problem solving strategy. Okay, we have brainstorming and also we have diagramming. Okay, when we talk about brainstorming, actually a problem solving strategy that can be used by groups of 2 or more. So normally what you do to begin the brainstorming exercise, you gather satu kumpulan, you share idea, and one specific problem, you kena pasti you identify one specific problem, and you start to share ideas, to discuss about the problem, and later you come up with one solution. Okay, that is brainstorming. Then we have a diagramming. So diagramming is a strategy for problem solving that provides a visual representation of the problem and the facts related to it. Okay, brainstorming normally more to discussion. You discuss dengan ramai-ramai orang, you come up with one solution. Okay, but diagramming is more a visual. You secara visual secara lukisan. So normally there's 4 main method of diagramming problems. Okay, the 4 method of diagramming problems is we have a pro and con sheets, we have flow chart, we have organizational chart, and also we have mind mapping. So we go one by one. First is we have pro and con sheets. Okay, it's actually a simple approach Okay, a simple approach of diagramming through a problem that involve recording the arguments for and against a solution. So we have what you need to do in order to do the diagram. Okay, you do like this kind of table. You have the pro, arguments for, and arguments again. What is the pro and cons of that certain problem? Pro and cons about the problem. Okay. Normally, pro is actually what we say the positive side, positive reason of the solution we work on this pro. Okay, the positive one. While the cons is a negative side of the negative reason of the solution. So if you have one solution, you must identify the pro and cons of that solution. Okay, so this is how the way you do lah. Normally you do this table, you do pro and you do cons, and you list what kind of the positive and negative reason towards the solution. Okay, the next diagram methods is we have flowcharts. Okay, flowchart is actually a diagrammatic approach to problem solving that charts each step of a process to assist in determining why a problem is occurring. So normally they have a step. Okay, what kind of step you need to follow the step to solve the problem. Okay, we go here, we can see here. Okay, example, this is the flow chart. Customer request payment extension, so you must follow this problem solution according to flow chart. You must follow process by process. Okay, first, customer request payment extension. So customer service provide collected information for the customer. So the customer payment history is reviewed. So positive payment history, is it they have yes positive payment history? So customer is informed that the request is approval. So if they don't have positive payment history, they have negative payment history. So customer is informed to request the denial. So this kind of flow chart is easy. If you work in customer service, you can just follow the step one by one. Okay, this is what we call as a flow charts. Okay, next we have the organizational charts. So a method of illustrating the hierarchy of the company by illustrating who reports to whom. So an organizational chart is a diagram of who reports to whom within the organization or department. So why organization chart is they will not assist in solving specific problem, but they can provide the visual illustration of every employee overload and can reveal the possible snag in the system success. Means if you have problem here, okay, you have problem here, you can just go to your head of department. You can go to the customer service supervisor. So if the problem occurred, the customer service supervisor cannot solve it, then you can go to the customer service manager. If cannot, they go to marketing manager. So that's why even though they're not going to 100% going to solve your problem, but you can go to the hierarchy lah, follow the hierarchy. Okay, next is what we call as mind mapping. I guess you guys know what is a mind mapping is all about. So it's a creative idea approach to diagram a problem in which the problem is recorded on the paper and possible solution branch out from the original figure lah. For example, you have the credibility. So the credibility instead of value, past performance, from the small in the middle, you can just come up macam lagi kembangkan. Okay, this is what we call mind mapping. So this mind mapping normally you can see, okay, contohnya you ada problem with your customer service. So what are the problem? Maybe communication skills. So communication skill, maybe your employee don't know how to speak English. Okay, they don't know how to talk with your customer. So you can relate all the solution. Okay, if they don't know how to speak English, what are the solution that you can take? Okay, dia macam kembangkan. You're going to spread it. Okay, daripada satu problem, satu solution to solution lain. Okay, faham ya? So we have 4 types of diagramming. Kita ada pro and con sheet, we have flow charts, we have organizational charts, and also we have mind mapping. Alright, now we proceed to the negotiation. Okay, what is actually negotiation? Alright, negotiation is actually the evaluation of the possible solution to challenge and the selection of the solution that is a mutual beneficial. Means In negotiation, you must have the what we call as discussion between two parties that involved in that particular solution, and the solution that you will come out must allow give and take on both sides for an issue. Means the solution that you take must benefit for both sides. Means both sides they must agree, and they must agree with that solution. So to improve the negotiation skill as a customer service provider, you must remember the following skills. So this is a solution, the suggestion for developing negotiation skill, or we can say suggestion. Okay, for you, in order for you to develop a negotiation skill, this is a solution. First, know your customer. Okay, anyone that involved in the solution, in the solving of a problem, you must know the parties that involved. Means you must know who is the party that involved. Okay, you must know the customer, your customer. Okay. Second, you must ask question and listen to the spoken and unspoken message. Because by asking question to our customer, and you must actively listen to their response. So normally we can develop an informed understanding of the situation. So that's why I need to ask question, listen to the message, spoken and unspoken. Okay, next we have know the policies of your organization and which area flexibility is allowed. Okay, when you want to when you want to negotiate with your customer, it is important for you to be very familiar about your company policy, because if you don't familiar about the policy, it's very hard. For example, you just give them the promise that you cannot keep the promise to the customer. So that's why you must know what kind of policy that the company have. Okay. Okay, next we have demonstrate the willingness to be flexible. Okay, by asking customers how they would suggest that a solution be resolved, and opening for their input has been suggested. So if their suggestion can be entirely implemented, so the customer may feel that you create the positive solution. Means the company was flexible enough to agree to. Means you must have this what kind of willingness to be flexible, then can change, can follow what the customer wants. Means you can listen to their suggestion, something like that. Means what you call it flexible. Okay, next we have learn to handle your anger and your customer anger appropriately. So it is important in the solution that you have a negotiation is taking place. So anger is always possibility. So sometimes something that has taken the situation to the point that requiring this negotiation. So when anger is revealed, it is the best way to control your anger. So maybe anger like normally express frustration, anxiety, or maybe it's not meet your expectation. So your customer expectation. So it may also be result to the circumstances that unrelated to the situation may be discussed. So you must handle, as I told you in the previous chapter, you must learn how to handle the anger and also your customer anger appropriately. I told you already, if you handle the customer anger, so you're not going to scold the customer back. So you must control your anger. Next, we have to consider what the customer may lose in the negotiation process. Okay, so normally when we talk about negotiation, so the nature of negotiation is normally involve give and take. So the customers may feel that they are doing all the giving and the company is doing all the taking. So try to understand what the customer will be as a compromise. So you must consider the customer, what are the things that they might lose in the negotiation process. And lastly, we have determine the mutual beneficial solution to challenging problems and situation. So when completing the negotiation with the customer, okay, you must seek the solution that will benefit both of the company and also the customer. That I told you, negotiation, the definition itself, actually you must consider both mutual understanding. So both of the parties must have the benefit. So try to find a solution that agreed with both parties. All right. Then we move to the professional approaches to apologize and to conveying bad news. Okay, you as a customer service provider, you must understand that if you apologize, you say sorry, it's not the sign of weaknesses, but you actually, this is a what we call as a productive methods to continuing the opportunity to communicate. Okay, if you have any problem, or you want to convey any bad news or faulty about your product and services, so it's not wrong to say sorry or to apologize to your customer. Okay, apologizing to customer is the reality of professional life. You are professional, apologize. Okay, while customer service providers should not apologize without justification. You cannot just simply apologize. They should prepare to do so when appropriate. So when apologizing the customer, you must consider this following suggestion. Okay, you must consider this following suggestion. Okay, first we have acknowledge customers' feeling. Okay, how you want to acknowledge customer feeling? By indicating to customer that we recognize their feeling and emotion, and we send the message that we care. You can say, okay, I understand about your dissatisfaction. Okay, you try to acknowledge the customer feeling. You try to put try to put yourself in the customer shoe. So you must acknowledge their feeling. Okay, express to the customer that you share the responsibility for the problem. So even if you and your company were only loosely associated with the problem, you also a part of the diagnosis and also the resolution. Okay, you must express to the customer that you are share the responsibility for the problem. Okay, next we have convey sincerity. Sorry, it is important when you apologizing, when you say sorry to your customer, it is important for you to convey a care and concern. Okay, so you must say that, okay, we regret that errors was made, and the manner in which we say you should demonstrate your regret for that kind of thing happen. So you must convey your care and concern. Then we have asked for the opportunity to correct the problems. Okay, what you can do, just apologizing for a problem has little impact if we do not offer to correct the error or to make changes in future. By saying, you can say like this, okay, may we correct the error for you? Okay, you express the desire to continue doing business with the customer. So this kind of work, okay, may we correct the errors for you? Okay, you show even though there's an error there, so you try to you want the opportunity to correct the problem. Okay, and lastly we have request the opportunity to continue doing business in the future. Right, what you can do, by asking the customer if we can still consider him or her an active customer, we suggest to the customer that we are willing to correct the error and would like to go forward in the positive business relationship. So you try to, like, even though you have errors, so we want to like positive relationship, we can go forward. So this request also give the customer the opportunity to show this request also give the customer to the opportunity to share other concern that might keep him or her from doing business with us. So you can request more opportunity. Sometimes, if you are like really disappointed with the product and service, okay, you're really mad. So this kind of apologizing to the customer is very important to ensure they are still want to use your services and products. So you must admit your mistake and try to apologize in the professional manners, professionally. Okay, let's move to the barriers to problem solving and also decision making. So a number of barriers may exist, okay, may occur that affect the actuality of problem solving and also decision making. So decision makers may not aware to that barriers that are detracting from this decision making process. Some of the most common barrier in the problem solving and also decision making are as follow. We have a resistance to change, we have habits, individual insecurity, past history, fear of success or failure, Jumping to the conclusion also, perception. We go one by one. Resistant to change. You don't want to change. People are often reluctant to change. You don't want to change. Okay, because resistant to change can prevent people from taking chance and from considering new possibility. So people, if you do the problem solving, okay, you want to change something. I mean, for example, your solution is want to change something. So one of the barrier is people are normally they don't want to change. Okay, they are resistant to change. Okay, that is habit. Okay, one of the common barriers of the problem solving and also decision making is habit. So habit limit our vision of what we can accomplish and may stand in the way of solving the problem. So for example, you can see a receptionist who is having difficulty completing his or her work may be unaware that the habit of taking personal call is taking a bulk of his or her work time. So if you have this habit, this kind of habit, something that you do it every day, okay, it's also part of the problem, part of the barriers of the solving problem, also decision making. Next, we have individual insecurity. Okay, this individual security may come from the past experience or from the overall lack of the self-confidence. So, how to say? Okay, you feel insecure. Okay, that's why if you have a problem, you want to solve a problem, you feel insecure, so you cannot solve the problem. Okay, then we have a past history. Okay, knowing that what is happened before and what worked and did not work can inhibit the individual's desire to try a new methods of problem solving and decision making. So past history is frequently an excuse for not making changes. Okay, you said, oh, I can't change because I faced it before. This is my past history that teach me like this. Okay, next we have fear of success or failure. At some time, everybody experiences some type of fear. So this fear of success or failure may be viewed as unreasonable. So, but it can be a greatly deter the confrontation of the problem. Okay, when a new way of doing something is attempted, the possibility exists that it may work well or not at all. In either instance, changes may result. So while people thrive on recognition, others may shy away from it. So this fear may cause people to avoid the possibility success or failure altogether. So this is if you fear of success and failure, it's also part of barrier of problem solving, also decision making. Then jump to the conclusion. Okay, when problems must be solved and also decision made, it is easy to jump to the conclusion. You're not going to discuss about it, you just jump to the conclusion. So when someone jumps to conclusion, assumptions are made. Okay, if you jump to conclusion, you just do assumption about what may and may not work or the possible result. So this assumption may frequently take on the negative perspective. So if you jump to conclusion, okay, I have the problem, I have this problem solving. So no. You take that solution means this normally this jumping into conclusion normally relate with the negative perception. And lastly, we have perception. Perception is as we state before, okay, perception are the ways that we see things based on our experience. So that's perception. Okay, so we may be unable to see something from another perspective because you are blinded by your own perception. You have your own perception. You cannot accept other perspective. So this is the barrier to this is a barrier to problem solving and decision making. We have resistance to change. You don't want to change. Your habit that block you to change. Okay, you feel insecure. You have a past history, fear of success and failure. You always jump to conclusion, and also the bad perception means you have your own perception and you cannot accept another perspective. Okay, lastly we have follow up in the problem solving. So once a problem have been solved and decision have been made, so it is important for you to do a follow up. The follow-up is actually you are checking back to determine whether or not the situation is operating according to the initial plan. So you must check whether the situation you're operating is according to the plan. Okay, so the next follow-up is to determine whether or not the original plan of action actually to take place. So it is important for you to follow up to ensure that the customer means that the customer will feel that satisfied with the solution that you have create for them. Okay, for any problem means you can see the whether you can I can see you can get the information, okay, whether your customer actually satisfied or not with your solution. Okay, the customer also will remember that he or she still have a problem that need to be resolved. So anytime a solution to a problem requires the involvement of someone other than the person making the commitment, follow-up should occur. So with the follow-up also, you're going to keep the customer informed about the status of their problems, even there is no news to report. There is no means this follow-up is important for keeping the customer informed about the status of their problem. Okay, let me write. Okay, keeping the customer informed about their problem. Okay, next we have okay, if a problem means the other way for you to get the feedback means you can just call your customer, that knowing that you are not forgotten them and you still remember they have a problem. So their response, you can think their response might be like, I cannot believe that you called me back. Your company really does provide excellent customer service. So follow up is actually a safeguard to ensure that the customer continue to be satisfied with the company and its ability to meet the needs of its customer. I repeat, follow up is a safeguard to ensure that customers continue to be satisfied with a company and its ability to meet needs of its customer. Okay, this is the thing. Follow up is the safeguard to ensure that customer continue to be satisfied with the company. So I can say that the reality of the problem solving and decision making in the customer service can become the active opportunity to convey the customer how valuable they are to success a business and satisfy their needs as a part of the accomplishment in the company goal. So it's important for you to follow up what kind of follow up their problem. So means you can convey to the customer, you can convey, or you can how to say, what can customer to like trust you and make them know that how valuable they are in your company. Okay, so it is important for you to follow up the problems with your customer. Okay, that's all for this topic, customer service. Okay, problem solving. So the code of your quiz is this is the code of the quiz, problem CS03, and please answer your quiz and please be responsible. If I ask you to answer the quiz, then answer the quiz. If you not answer, you're not going to get marks. So good luck, and that's all for me. That's all for today. So have a nice day.